Some places are marked by shadows of the past, lingering in the corners where the light doesn't reach. This is the story of one such place, my apartment, and the night I came face to face with something I can only describe as otherworldly. Act 1. Moving in. I had just moved into my first apartment, excited for independence, unaware of its eerie, silent stories. The apartment was in an old building with creaky floors and an ever-present draft that no amount of heat could stave off. Alex says, odd choice for decoration. Act 2. Unsettling discoveries. My first night there was restless. Shadows played across the walls, and the faint but distinct sound of footsteps echoed through the empty rooms. I told myself it was just the building settling, or the peculiarities of old plumbing. Alex whispers, that's not just the building. Act 3. The encounter. The air turned cold, so suddenly it made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. That's when I felt it, an overwhelming sense of being watched. I turned around slowly, and there in the doorway stood the figure of an old woman, her eyes hollow, her expression sorrowful. She was as clear as day, yet not fully there. She stared at me, and in a voice that was barely a whisper, she spoke. Ghost whispers, help me find peace. Act 4. Seeking answers. Driven by fear and curiosity, I sought answers. The building had a history, darker than I could have imagined. Built in the late 1800s, it had been the home of a widow, Mrs. Whitmore, who, legend has it, waited every night for her lost sailor husband to return until she passed away, alone and heartbroken. Alex says, so she never left. Act 5. The resolution. That night, I set up a small memorial for her, hoping it might help her find the peace she asked for. As I lit the candle, the air shifted, warmed, and the scent of lilac grew stronger. As her apparition faded, so did the chill in the air, the eerie feelings, and the strange occurrences. From that night on, the apartment felt just like what it was. Simply a place to live, not haunted, but perhaps a little more sacred. Sometimes the spirits that haunt us are just souls looking for closure, for someone to acknowledge their pain. I never saw Mrs. Whitmore again, but I like to think she finally found her way back to where she belonged, perhaps reunited at last with the husband she had longed for. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe the channel.